I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I want to share with you one of the most intriguing historical lessons in human history and politics and empire building. It's the story of the Janissaries. Janissaries were an elite fighting force of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire was founded by Sultan Usman in where present day Turkey is. Please don't confuse it with Uthman Dan Fodio of the Sokoto Caliphate. He captured some young Christian boys in 1390, that's the 14th century. He trained them, converted them to Islam. He trained them and made them one of the most elite fighting forces that the world has ever known. They were vicious, they were callous, they were daring, they were strong, and they were made celibate and only loyal to the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire at any time. They fought and many of them died. They had special uniforms and special privileges, but they were Christians initially. I want to get your observations and lessons you have learned or you will learn from the story of the Janissaries. And from 1390 to 1826 June, they were a very strong force in the Ottoman Empire in present-day Turkey. And then a point came, they wanted a reward for their contribution to the building of the empire, of the Ottoman Empire that spanned from Turkey into North Africa, into the Middle East, into Europe. They went as far as Bulgaria, they went to the Balkans, present-day Montenegro, Serbia, and all that. Went and they conquered, they fought. Very vicious human beings, terrible human beings, but they were formerly Christian children. And then they started the celibacy, ended, they started marrying, having children. And at one point, this man's theory, I will remember his name, came into play. He said, for every normal, psychologically mature adult, that a time comes when his personal interest comes in conflict with organizational goals. That is, we can be in any system, military, political, social, religious, we will be doing together. Chris Agiris, that is his name, an American management consultant, Chris Agiris. A time will come for a normal, psychologically mature adult when his personal interest comes in conflict with organizational goals. We are seeing it in the PDP when the personal interests of some individuals even the governors, even somebody like Wiki and others, even Atiku that has gone to ADC, even Obi that went to Labour Party, the personal interest of the individual comes in conflict with organizational goals. We're also going to see it in the APC. There are janissaries in the APC, people from other parties, other persuasions that have joined, and they are being used viciously, being used terribly to promote the cause of people they once criticized, a party they once demonized. They are now there. They are acting as janissaries. And one time they now wanted an increase in pay, salaries, and welfare benefits. And Sultan Osman, the second or 11th, I can't, refused to meet their needs. And then this Sultan ruled from 1618 to 1622 in the Ottoman Empire. The remnant of the Ottoman Empire is present-day Turkey. Remember the churches in Ephesus, churches in Laodicea, churches in Philadelphia, churches in all those places were overrun by the by the Ottoman Empire. So when you read the Bible, remember those churches, they were eventually overrun, including the Sophia Hegia, that was one of the most beautiful churches. Ataturk captured it and turned it to a mosque. So you should remember what is happening in Nigeria and what might happen if care is not taken. And so they executed Sultan Osman, the 11th, in 1622. And they continued to wield power. The people, these janissaries that were captured and trained, they became so powerful, and they decided to rebel against Sultan Mahmud II, who wanted to modernize the Turkish army as the world was changing, and they rebelled against him. They had their personal barracks where they stayed. As they gathered there, the Sultan lured them into their barracks, according to some narrations. Other narrations said they were already in their barracks there, and revolted. In June 1826, the auspicious incident took place. Sultan Mahmud felt threatened, and his interest was uppermost in his mind, and the protection of the legacy of his ancestors was uppermost in his mind. And he ordered cannons to be shot at the barracks where they stayed. And thousands of them were eliminated. The remaining ones who were in other parts were arrested and deleted. That is the story of the janissaries. You are disposable when Chris Agiri's theory comes to play. For every normal, psychologically mature adult, a time comes when his personal interest comes in conflict with organizational goals. For any organization, business, party, even church, even Islam, even traditional religion, even traditional governments, that is, traditional rulers, when they want sustainability of their legacy, no matter how much you have served them, if your interest comes in conflict with organizational goals, they will eliminate you. I see a lot of janissaries in the Nigerian political scene, Christian recruits being made to fight against Christianity. A time will come when your interests will come in conflict with this present administration, this present APC. They will flush you like wasted tissue paper. And for the APC, the interest of your janissaries in the system, the people you are bringing in now, when it will come in conflict with their personal interests, you will see what they will do to you. One of the things I have learned in life is not to be used. Not to be used as a tool. Not to be used as a broom. You can use a broom to sweep your compound, sweep your sitting room. When you finish using it, you hide it somewhere. I prefer to be celebrated instead of being denigrated after being used. I don't let people use me. When I was preaching around churches, they were giving me honorarium, but I was building my personal life so that I will not become dependent upon them. I don't depend on any person in Pentecostalism to live well, to do well. I don't also depend on any person, even among my family members. I don't depend on the following B's: somebody's brain, somebody's body, somebody's budget, and somebody's blessing for me to get fulfillment and have joy. You give to me, I will accept. You help me, I will accept. But I can do without you. That is what God has taught me. Don't sell your future. Don't change your faith. Don't change your convictions like the janissaries. It's a painful part of history, a lesson we must learn. Dr. Charles Apoki is my name. God bless you.